Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I have some important updates to share with you about Sheikh Hamdan and his family. If you've been following my previous videos, you know that things have been getting really intense lately. In my last video, I promised to share with you a poem written by Sheikh Hamdan's ex-wife, Hadia. But before we dive into that, there are a few crucial updates you need to know. So, let's get into it. In previous videos, I mentioned that Sheikh Hamdan made an unexpected visit to Hadia's parents' home in Uzbekistan. The visit was an effort on his part to try and mend some of the lingering tension after their divorce. He spoke with her parents, asking them to communicate with Hadia about her conditions if she were to ever return to his palace in Dubai. However, on that particular day, Sheikh Hamdan didn't hear back from Hadia, and he was visibly disappointed. I think many of us could feel the weight of that silence, especially considering how much effort he's been putting in. But here's the surprising twist. The very next day, Hadia finally reached out to Sheikh Hamdan. However, instead of a warm conversation, Hadia seemed upset. She remained quiet for a moment before asking a question that Sheikh Hamdan didn't expect. "Why did you meet with my parents without asking me first?" This question really caught Sheikh Hamdan off guard. He never thought Hadia would bring up such a concern, especially considering how much he was trying to repair things. And although he had no real answer to her question, the conversation took an interesting turn. Hadia calmly reminded him that they were now divorced, and he no longer had the right to visit her family without her permission. Sheikh Hamdan, with his well-known patience, listened to her without interrupting. He understood that she was upset and didn't want to make things worse. Now, from what we know, Hadia tends to become a little sharp when she's angry. But despite this, Sheikh Hamdan, being the crown prince of Dubai, had the authority to visit anyone at any time, yet, knowing Hadia's mood, he chose to remain silent. Hadia then told Sheikh Hamdan to be patient, adding that she would give him her answer in due time. And with that, she abruptly ended the call. Now, this is where things get really interesting. Despite the somewhat tense exchange, Sheikh Hamdan wasn't too worried. In fact, he was somewhat relieved. Even though the conversation didn't go smoothly, at least Hadia had reached out to him, which was a small step forward in his eyes. Fast forward a little, about 2 days ago, Hadia finally returned to Dubai. Sheikh Hamdan respected her space, allowing her time to relax in her mansion. After giving her some breathing room, he brought their children, Shaika and Rashid, to visit her. Hadia didn't speak much to Sheikh Hamdan during this time, still holding on to some frustration from their earlier conversations. But the important thing is that Sheikha and Rashid spent quality time with their mother. It was a positive moment for the children, and sometimes, as we all know, that's what matters the most in situations like these. But things took another dramatic turn when Sheikh Mohammed, Sheikh Hamdan's father, got word that Hadia had returned to Dubai. As many of you probably know, Sheikh Mohammed has strong opinions about the situation between Sheikh Hamdan and Hadia, and he's not too happy about her being back. He fears that Hadia might eventually return to the palace and rekindle some sort of relationship with Sheikh Hamdan, which, in his mind, isn't the best scenario. Meanwhile, across the globe in London, Sheikh Hamdan's current wife, Sheikha Thani, also learned about Hadia's return to Dubai, and she's just as upset. Now, if you follow Sheikha Thani on Instagram, you might have seen her posts from a few days ago. Her feelings on the matter were made crystal clear through her social media activity. Let's take a quick look at what she posted. In her first post, she shared, "I'm not your free time or second choice. Prioritize me or leave me alone." This post speaks volumes about her current emotional state and her frustration with the situation. She doesn't want to feel like she's competing for Sheikh Hamdan's attention, especially with Hadia's sudden return to Dubai. Then, in her second post, she wrote, "Situations will teach you the real meaning of life." This sounds like a deeper reflection on the complications of her relationship with Sheikh Hamdan. These posts give us a clear insight into how Sheikha Thani is feeling right now. Disillusioned, disappointed, and unwilling to share her role as a wife in what seems like a very complex situation. From these posts, it's obvious that Sheikha Thani is not in favor of Hadia coming back into Sheikh Hamdan's life, let alone into the palace. The tension is high, and her feelings of frustration and maybe even betrayal are coming through strongly. The dynamics between Sheikh Hamdan, Hadia Zen, and Sheikha Thani are constantly evolving, and it's clear that nothing is simple in their world. There are emotions, responsibilities, and conflicting interests that seem to make every step forward more complicated. But, as always, we'll be here to keep you updated on what happens next. That's all the latest news about Sheikh Hamdan and his family for now. I hope you found today's video interesting and that it gave you some fresh insights into the ongoing developments. Don't forget, I'll be sharing that poem from Hadia Zen in my next video, so make sure to stay tuned for that. If you liked today's video, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you never miss another update. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.